The Anambra, you're welcome back to our discussion segment. The Anambra State House of Assembly is the legislative branch of the government, and it was created in 1991 when Anambra State was created. A few hours from now, the 7th Assembly will be inaugurated, and that means that the 6th Assembly will be dissolved. But we are here today to assess their performance so far and see how the incoming Assembly will consolidate on their achievements. That's why we are discussing the topic, performance of Anambra House of Assembly. And in the studio this morning, we have Honorable Pete Ibida, Chairman, House Committee on Trade, Commerce, and member representing Njikoka 2 in Anambra State House of Assembly. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was saying you are glowing this morning.
Of course, I have to be.
I saw you this morning.
So why are you so happy this morning?
I'm not just happy. In fact, I feel I'm excited.
It tells in the
I'm rhapsodized. I'm rhapsodized because today is our valedictory session.
Yeah.
Today is the last sitting for the 6th Assembly, and which was very successfully
being a part of the 6th Assembly,
completed.
how will you assess your achievement, your performance so far?
The 6th Assembly?
Yes.
It was unprecedented. It was fantastic. We have left a mark. We have achieved a legendary performance in legislative duties. And we have made a mark in the sense that the legislators this time acted very professionally, anchored on the ethics of Parliament. And most importantly, that peace we have been looking for in the state is sacrosanct. And synergizing with the executive and the judiciary, we have come out as gallant parliamentarians.
All right. Let me ask you. The House of Assembly election was held in 30 constituencies in Anambra, involving 336 electoral wards. 518 candidates contested the House of Assembly election in the state under the platform of various political parties. And we know that at the end of the whole process, the party ABGA looked as if it swept most of the seats. How would you assess and grade the performance of ABGA as a party towards the National Assembly elections?
State
Assembly elections, rather.
Well, first of all, that all those, most of the gladiators came out, of course, to demonstrate the full-blown democracy we are practicing today in Nigeria. And, of course, Anambra State, known for peace. Everybody wanted to come out, and they came out, and they were accommodated. But of course, the right people were sieved out from, especially APGA. Very quality people who are full of dexterity, who can be very pragmatic in their approach to legislative duties, and of course, very soon you see it happening. And, of course, APGA, a very robust party, a party that is associated with democracy and quality management. So, came out 26 over 30. And that is A.
Sure.
And if we want to take all, we could have taken all, but we want to show that we believe in democracy. Okay. There must be an opposition.
Let's pause it there. You'll tell us more when we come back from this short break. We'll be right back.
Ndi Anambra ekene munu.
Hi people, this is your favorite Igbolicious babe, Rachel Okonkwo, aka Calling Wansuga.
My name's John Ikechukwoga.
I am Honorable Dr. P.T. Vida, member representing Njikoka 2 in Anambra State House of Assembly. Afambu Nze Uche Nwora, Managing Director, CEO, Anambra Broadcasting Service.
My name is Colette Madike, beauty queen filmmaker, and you are watching
Inekili
ABS TV.
Never you ever touch that dial.
Keep watching ABS. Alabama, we are like that.
It is ABS TV. All the time. ABS!
ABS, the heartbeat of the East.
ABS, Heartbeats of the East.
You're welcome back, and we're here today to assess the performance of the Sixth Assembly. And the person that just joined us in the studio is Honorable Kinsley Iroba, Chairman, House Committee on Information. And you are also welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, we are talking about the performance of the Sixth Assembly, which you were part of, and we've already asked Honorable P.T. Vida. He assessed, and now we want you to assess or to give us what are those things, the outstanding achievements you did.
Thank you so much for the wonderful question. I believe my assessment will not be different from what my brother and my colleague Vida has said.
I've not even delved into it.
Oh, can you see that? Can you see that? It's a sister assembly of Anambra State is wonderful. You know, it's like a family. You know, we work together cordially in love, in unity. You know, the same purpose. You know, of making Anambra State a better state for the benefit of Anambra. You know, we worked, cordially with His Excellency Chief Dr. Willie Obiano to ensure that he delivered his vision and mission concerning Anambra State. You can see the developmental projects we have in Anambra State today is part of our, legislative duties. If we would not encourage him, if we would not support him, we wouldn't be able to achieve it. So when you mention the executive, the achievements of the executives, you must also give us the kudos, the House of Assembly, for what we did. Particularly, I want to mention the health insurance scheme law, which we passed. It is wonderful because by the virtue of that law, every person in Anambra State, so long as you are an indigenous of Anambra State, you will entitled, you access health care facility wherever you are, even without, at minimum payment. With 1,000 naira, you can access any medical surgery, major surgery, government to take care of it. So we use the opportunity to encourage the people, those in the villages, to take care, to take benefit of this, insurance scheme by registering just 1,000 naira per month. In 12 months, you have only 12,000, which can guarantee you major surgery that will, run into millions, and government will take care of it. So right now, nobody in Anambra State will say that I died because I cannot afford hospital bill, or I am in pain because I cannot afford to pay. Go to the specified hospitals, and the doctors will take care of you. You are not required to pay any deposit before they take care of you. Once you show your identity card, they will take care of you. Government will the PO.
Okay, I'll tell you that is one of the most
outstanding bill that's people-oriented. Health is everything. Right. Once you are healthy, everything flows. Thank you.
Which one will you say is the most challenging, the bill? Because I know that you passed about 90 bills and numerous resolutions. The
last bill we just passed was sickle cell.
Thank you.
Amendment.
Still on health.
Yes.
Still on health.
Yeah.
Health is number one. And that is the focus of His Excellency. And that is why we key on behind him, because he's very conscious of human life. And that is security. That's why security to him, in fact, the life and safety of the people of the state is his mantra and focal point. So, because of that, most of what we do are anchored on saving lives of the people and, of course, their property. And that is governance.
Yeah.
So, sickle cell, and of course, you go to revenue, POS. Sure. We had to energize, make sure that these holes are plugged. POS bill, so that people will not just go, everything will is no longer manual. People go and pay, and some people, of course, a great percentage of the money is pocketed, or was pocketed, rather. So this time, you go through to POS, and that is a scientific way of course, checking the excesses of people who we can say fraudsters.
All right. If you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Anambra.
And sorry, 134 motions, and very powerful motions, and of course, we also had 35 bills to our credit.
All right, we'll talk more on that. Just to let you know that you can join in discussion this morning. The WhatsApp number is on the screen in the top one. Don't call the number, just send your messages to it. And the other numbers beneath, you can call on over here to take your calls. We're talking about the performance of the 6th Anambra House of Assembly, because tomorrow, which is the 12th of June, the 7th Anambra House of Assembly will be inaugurated. We're talking about the performance. Let me come to you now, Honorable Ibida. You would agree with me that when we talk about the relationship between the three arms of government, it is important and very necessary that they work in a peaceful, coexistence. Now, looking at what in the national body, President Buhari in the last 4 years has not really had it smooth with the National Assembly, and now the second tenure, he has begun the second tenure. Do you think that the rough patches he had with the National Assembly, in his first tenure, is likely to occur this time around?
I wouldn't be able to predict, because until they borrow a leaf from the style of governance from Anambra State governor, because his style of governance is legendary. He carries everybody along, and he believes in democracy, he believes in consultation, and he believes in full integration of the people. So, because the moment, it is very extraneous in governance, in democracy, to keep alienating the people you are governing. So, if my advice is that they would have to involve His Excellency Chief Dr. Willie Obiano to give them some pieces of advice on the way he has been managing the state. Otherwise, if His Excellency Buhari applies the same strategy he did the first tenure, this time around, there will be an eruption of catastrophe.
All right, let's go to you, Honorable. Still on that same vein, we are talking about the relationship that existed between the executive and the legislative arm of government. Right here in Anambra State, we know that you have a smooth relationship, cordial relationship. Yeah. So we want to know what informed that, what made it so smooth, like what we had in other administrations.
Okay, everything boils down to the leadership of the House and the executive. Because one thing is important. If you know your rights, know your duties, know your responsibilities, know your limits, everybody will live accordingly. You see, when the House of Assembly knows their powers and their limitations, and the executive knows their powers and limitations, that everybody, these things they established, there will be checks and balances. They don't encroach in other people's responsibility. They don't encroach in yours. There will be harmony, there will be unity. So long as the executive continue to, executive at the center, continue to encroach on the powers and responsibilities of the legislature at the center, National Assembly, they will have strife. There will be cordial relationship. So everybody, I encourage them and I advise that His Excellency, the President Buhari, should, as a matter of urgency, ensure that this is not a military regime. You must respect the legislature. They have their responsibilities and their duties, and you have yours. Thank you.
Sure, you must respect the legislator. Right now, we want to go to the streets and feel the pulse of the people concerning the topic of discussion this morning. Don't go anywhere.
Experience, I will rate them excellent. They have really tried, being the arm of the government. They have helped the executive arm of the government of Anambra State to do some certain laws that helps the government in its administration, the good governance, providing that democracy we are talking about to the grassroots.
They try their best. Leading the people is not an easy task, but the way there's no anarchy in Anambra State, they passed the bills that were sent to them. So I think they did very well.
They perform well, and we are asking those people that will come in, let them pick up where those people stop and start acting their own. Let them perform more than these people.
They tried very much, especially the way they were able to manage the crisis in the House of Assembly. And again, they worked coordinated with the governor, and they were able to achieve something. That's why together is very nice. Because it's good to work as a team in order to achieve. I feel that they watch what they used, and that's what we're all enjoying it now.
All right, you're welcome back. You've just heard what the people said. So I would like you to react to their opinions about the performance of
their reactions are in consonance with what we've been talking here.
Okay.
That there is a full collaboration between the executive, judiciary, and the parliament. And of course, with this synergy, that is what, of course, generates the high level of performance. And of course, the bills we've been passing and the motions are being executed and touching the lives of the people. And that is why they are testifying that we are together. And that unity in the House, is a focal point again. That is, in fact, it is the pillar that carries all the successes anchored on the integrity of the House. Is not in question, and of course, our relationship with these two other arms are not in question as well. They are very robust, and of course, you can see that when there is peace in any environment, of course, there will be trajectory.
Let's quickly look at some of the landmark bills that was passed by the outgoing 6th State Assembly, which include the Anambra State Security Vigilante Bill, the Health Insurance Bill, Disability Rights Bill,
That's right.
Anambra State Polytechnic Establishment Bill,
Correct.
as the Anambra State House of Assembly Service Commission Bill, among others. Now, my question, Mr. Kingsley, how would you assess the Speaker of the House? How would you assess her performance at the 6th Assembly?
All right. The Speaker of Anambra State Assembly, Right Honorable Rita Madago, she did her best, to the best of her ability, in piloting the affairs of the House and of this Assembly. So we give her kudos to the effort she made to maintain unity in the House, to ensure that all these bills were passed, because if the Speaker could not, couldn't allow them, they couldn't have been passed. Okay? Because she will find a way or the other to see what she can do. But you can see that everybody's working together to ensure that we deliver the dividends of democracy to the Indian Anambra. That is why you can see the House.
Let's proceed,
Sorry.
please. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and your location.
My name is Nemeka from Enugu.
All right, Nemeka, go ahead.
All right. I want to find out, is it true that it took the State Assembly just 1 week to deliberate on a state budget and pass it into law? I want to know if it's true.
To deliberate.
All right, thank you so much, Nemeka. He said he wants to know if it's true that the State Assembly deliberated on a budget for 1 week and passed it into law. He wasn't specific on the budget, but he's asking, was there a time that the State Assembly had a budget that was deliberated under a week and was passed into law?
Yes. Honorable Peter, please, could you react to that?
My reaction to that is that there are processes that we go through for passage of any bill. That is the bill as well. It's an appropriation bill, right? So those processes we observed. We went through the processes rigidly. We invited. The first one was when the appropriation bill came. We invited all the stakeholders in the executive to come and defend those budget estimates, the budget estimates, because they were not yet budget. And they came and defended them. Now, of course, we did a review of the budget, like usual, of the estimate, like usual. And some corrections were made. And then it went to the committee level. I'm a member of the committee, and with the committee reviewed it thoroughly. And of course, from there, it came back to the House for the reading. So there is first reading, second reading, and third reading.
Correct.
And these were not done in a day. Okay. The processes we went through the processes. And before we went into on the committee of the whole, the same way all other bills you mentioned here were passed, is the same way this bill, appropriation bill, was passed.
Quickly, because time is running out, our friend. The question I'm going to be asking now is for both of you personally, because we're talking about the performance of, the members of the House and how they represented their constituency. Now, as the House Committee Chairman on Trade, Commerce, Market, and Wealth Creation, now with or without politics, how have you been able to empower and ameliorate the plights of the people in your constituency? And what should be considered your major achievement in the 6th Anambra State House of Assembly?
You're a good man. That's a very exciting one.
You are really excited about it.
I am, because as if you know that virtually 70% of my projects are on markets. I built markets in the 3 towns I represent. And that gave me about 90% of the votes for this, my second coming. Because when you touch the lives of the people, Anambra is known for trade and commerce. And, of course, being also the chairman of House Committee on this market and all that, I had to go into building the markets, some pavilions, and inside the pavilions, they also trade. In fact, multi-purpose halls, where they trade, where they hold meetings, where they do Christian activities, church activities, and so on. So, in my town, Nimo, I built a market. In Aba, I built markets, open ones, and then lock up shops. And then in Aba, Ghana, the same thing, open hall everywhere. And, of course, I also gave some money, some 100,000 naira, some 150,000 naira, to some indigent ones to help them enter the market. And this is my second coming. I already told them that I have built all this. Now I'm coming back. I will now give you that thing that will enable you to trade in those markets.
Amazing.
Yes. That is my strategy.
Are happy with you. So
all right. Let's come
to
Beautiful. Thank you so much. In the 6th Assembly, I was a member of the 5th Assembly, and I came back 6th Assembly. So I was able to do so much for my people. Because one thing with Anambra is that if you do not perform, they will never bring you back. That is just certain. Okay. So in my 5th Assembly, we did so much. We built schools. We built markets too. We also did a small-scale industry where they produce gari and palm oil and stuff like that. We enabled so many people, empowered them financially to start so many trades. We also train people in skill acquisitions like soap making, hair making, bonds making, all those kind of little things that could help people in the village to ensure that they have their daily living, and also empower our ladies to ensure that they don't depend on men to get their money. You make your money yourself. Some will train how to dress hairs and stuff like that, how to make clothes. And they are doing very well today. In the Sister Assembly, you mentioned the one disability right bill. I sponsored that bill in the House of Assembly. And that bill was wonderful. I like it so much. If we also have another one, the violence against persons, these people that maybe husband will beating the wife or wife beating the husbands, those bills will take care of those things when implemented. So we are home and dry in the House of Assembly Anambra State. Thank you so much.
All right, Honorable Pete, we have about 17 new members that are coming in this present 7th Assembly, and then they are new. They are not, but you are among the old members. But then my question is, what are we going to expect from this one? Are we still going to expect cooperation that existed in the Sister Assembly?
There will even be better cooperation, because some of them are much younger than many of us. So we take them as younger brothers. And then I bet you there will be a robust relationship, very cordial relationship. And I see them as people who will be very subservient to the rules of the game. Because most importantly is to obey the rules. But the Bible says that you can never win a game unless you obey the rules. So if you're deviant, you have failed already. But I see these guys as people who are ready to work. And that is why I said initially that these people were sieved from among the people, a good number of people, hundreds of thousands of people that contested alongside with them, and they came out tops. So, which means they went through a very serious scrutiny before they came out. So, having come out, you can see that APGA sieved out the best. APGA came out with the best. And they would have to exhibit it in the plenary.
Tomorrow is the 12th of June, the inauguration of the 7th Assembly. And just like Honorable Pete said, today is the last sitting. It's a valedictory session. Now, tomorrow, the inauguration of the 7th Assembly. What are we expecting from the 7th Assembly, Honorable Pete? We expecting that things will go from better to best or from better to worse. What are we expecting?
The situation does not require any demystification. We will resonate to action very soon. You will see it. Because the people, that will become now the ranking members as well, I can tell you with every audacity that these guys are already well grounded in parliamentary duties.
Let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. All right, good. Go ahead.
So I can assure you that the best will come out. The 7th Assembly, of course, will perform better than the 6th Assembly, because what they went through has really, they will come out with every dexterity, and then exhibit that thing quality in them.
All right.
And we will cooperate with them, and of course guide them, and cooperate with them, and take them as younger brothers until they come of age.
All right. Having said that, we want to thank you so much for coming, Honorable P.T. Victor, the Chairman, House Committee on Trade and Commerce, and also member representing Njikoka too in the Anambra State House of Assembly. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
And
thank
Honorable
you.
P.T. many thanks for also
Thank you so
us
much.
today. All
Thank
right.
you.
My name is Chidi Mora, and that's it, but we're still going to come back. Don't go anywhere. We still have other things for you today. Don't go anywhere.